Hey guys, Levi from the Rag Company, and in today's video, I'm leaving. So yeah, after 8 years here at the Rag Company, I am leaving the company. The company that I'm going to work for has stated that I can't say anything just yet, but I will say that I'm really excited for the new opportunity, and I'm super excited because it's in the car care industry and it's something that I really like doing. So why don't we use this time to actually take a look back at the last 8 years of me here at the Rag Company and what it's meant to me. So 8 years ago, I was running a detail shop that was fairly successful, and I had stumbled upon a microfiber company local to Boise, Idaho. And I don't know how hard that is to explain to folks. E-commerce was one of those things that was still kind of getting, up and running. So really the only person I could buy from was the guy on the truck. I remember doing some research because I was scratching cars. And when I looked into microfiber and trying to just deep dive a little bit because all the towels looked the same, I didn't know anything about them. And then I Googled and found the Rag Company. This time, for some reason, an address showed up that was Boise, Idaho. And I was like, what the heck? That first day I spent 3 hours with Jeff just deep diving microfiber, learning every single thing I could about microfiber and how it works and what it can do, and started figuring out exactly the practicality of what I could utilize them for, because, well, he had over 150 different types of microfiber. And that blew my mind, seeing the different weaves, the different blends, the different styles. It was one of those where it was like, why don't more people know about this? When I left that day, after dropping about $300 in towels for my shop, my little brother goes, "Oh, the Rag Company? Yeah, I went to high school with Dane. I know his family really well. Don't you already buy your microfiber towels from him?" At that point, Seth had worked for me for over a year, and not once had he ever told us about the Rag Company. After that day, I started spending most of my lunch breaks at the Rag Company. And that's how I got to know Dane and Jeff and Carolyn and John. I was just a customer, a really good customer, but a customer nonetheless. And it was until one day that Jeff asked me to fly to California with him to meet with a company to sell some towels, because he had said, quote, "I don't know how to do this, and you know more about chemicals than I do, and what towels we could pair with those." And I said, sure, let's rock and roll, let's do that. As we were getting ready to get on the plane, he goes, "How do I hire somebody like you?" And that got the ball rolling for me. It took me about a year to get out of my shop and get in here to the Rag Company. After that point, that was when a whole lot of stuff changed. Anthony had just lost his job, and he had shown up at the grand opening of the Rag Company location right here on the campus. I was getting ready to start within like 2 or 3 weeks, so I was checking out my office and seeing what was going on. And Dane and I look at each other and go, "I guess you and I are going to be working together." But it was only the two of us. That first month, we did a little plan where we figured out exactly everything we needed to do together to start that year off in 2017, which is crazy. And one thing he said was, "We need to hire somebody. This is too much work for just the two of us." And that is how Anthony got into the company. We joked that he was part-time for that first week, and then by the next day, basically, realistically, it was probably like an hour after he got started, but we'll just say it was a few days later he became full-time, and that was it. So now it was the three amigos. It was me, Dane, and Anthony, three dudes that I have grown to love like brothers, where we have traveled the world together and had some of the most amazing experiences I could ever hope for. It was like, hey guys, get a camera, just film it, just have fun. There was no scripts, there was no pre-recording of anything. It was just turn the camera on and let's go. I didn't have that skill. Anthony came to the company with that skill, and I was able to learn how to do that through him. As the years went on, right, we added a few people. Morgan was one that we added that was a component that we weren't sure if we needed, but ended up becoming a little sister that we all really fell in love with and enjoyed, and had had a great friendship and a great working relationship with her. It was hard when she left the team because, again, it was like we had built this crew and we were having a lot of fun. We were literally just preaching the gospel of microfiber to the world and trying to make car care and towels something that, towels are not exciting, but we made them fun. I mean, that's really what we did. With Morgan coming on, we also got Jimmy, who's behind the camera right now and directing this. One of the fun things with Jimmy was his ability to change the way we shot stuff. He looked at things a lot more differently than Dane, but the two of them together were able to create some pretty cool stuff. Another friend of mine that showed up in the company was Nate. Nate and I have gone since we were I wasn't 17, he was 17, and we were building bikes for Georgia Cycles here. Nate would get off early on Fridays and he would literally just come to the rag company to hang out with Dane and Anthony and I. That was it. He'd literally just hang out in our offices on a Friday afternoon. And shortly after that, we ended up hiring Nate. And well, now he handles all the cool t-shirt designs, website designs, all the graphic stuff that you love so much that has basically created the rag company story visually for a lot of us. When the pandemic hit, we actually exploded in terms of business. We went so large in terms of size and shipping and how many people we needed to hire. It was absolutely insane. And we basically tripled overnight. We were able to add Gabe full time. We had already added Nick because he helped us build this thing during COVID. We added Glenn, Seabass, same thing. So we built this core crew of us that really built and had a blast, especially once we moved into this building. We were able to create some of the coolest content, some of the funnest stuff you guys that you guys got to see, stuff that I never thought we'd get to do. Cheap Car Challenge, that was insane. The fact that we bought a car out of Twin Falls and fixed it up and sold it for 4 times more than we bought it for is insane that I got a chance to do that. And then one day it got even wilder. Anthony Blaine walked in the door. So if you think back, that very first video that we got to do was our hunt for Jack's treasure. And that totally upped the game. We had done our first TRCMA intro video where it's our drive to work, and that was all of us doing stuff. I remember Jimmy chasing after me in my truck trying to get one shot, Tim running the drone trying to get these scenes, Anthony just hanging out at his house for most of it. But the point is, when Anthony Blaine came on, all of a sudden we're in the Cuna Caves and we're filming in there. We're on top of the Bruno Sand Dunes and it sounds amazing. It's shot so well and produced so well. And again, it was the fact that we leveled up. To be able to walk in and get on stage in front of a crowd of people and talk and have people in languages that I don't speak know who I am is humbling. It's crazy. Or to ask, hey, where's Anthony and Dane? They need to come over. This is so much fun. Why haven't, I love this last video. You guys are amazing. I remember I had guys that show up that go, my son washes cars. He loves watching YouTube videos. He loves watching you guys. He has autism and he's nonverbal, but he loves watching your detailing videos, so much so that he loves washing cars. And he would go out and wash our cars 8, 9 times a day. So we built a little business having him wash cars for us in the neighborhood. So he goes around, they set up a sign up, the neighbors bring their cars over, and it's all because of us messing around with the camera, washing cars and making fun content. And I remember the first day I met that kid, I literally lost. I'm getting choked up now, but I literally lost it. It's nuts. I never thought we would have the impact we have on other people's lives. And I am thankful and I am humbled that we have ever even had that ability. Folks like Luke Berge, G. Davis, Alex Dewar, Dan Digna, those guys have all been to my house except for G, but I call G quite often. but I've been able to go on the road a bit with G. If you'll recall, we went on our East Coast adventure in 2019 with him. To find these guys who actively support us as friends and fans, mind you, is wild to me. But I'm so thankful for their friendship, and I am so thankful that I was able to have a job here to do that, to meet people like that. Then not to mention all the people in the industry, in the detailing industry. My parents were detailers. I grew up in this. I remember the stigma of being 18 years old, getting out of high school, graduating high school, and going, I'm just going to work at this car wash. And having all my friends go, oh, we're going off to college, or I've got a scholarship, I'm going here, I'm going there. I was going to work at a car wash, literally a quarter mile down the road from here. That was my plan after high school. I didn't have a scholarship. I didn't have parents who were going to pay for college. I sure as hell wasn't going to take out a loan for college. But one thing I did love was cleaning cars. And it was something that I knew I could do, and I knew I was good at it. And so I stuck with it. Working in those car washes and working in those detail shops and doing all that was, I did feel a certain stigma at the time of, I've always felt like I was just an employee, right? I was just a guy that worked at a car wash. And I always hated getting those alumni magazines that would say, oh, so-and-so is now a doctor and physician or this and graduated and is over here and this person's doing this. And, I'd see these friends of mine that I went to high school with, kids that I went to elementary school and high school with. And I'm just washing cars. That's all I'm doing. But I loved it. And I didn't have a problem with it. And so when I opened my own business, it was like, okay, I finally have achieved something. I'm at a level where this is mine. This is it. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am now. I'm the master of shine. Being able to create an international distribution network was crazy. Being able to travel was crazy. For a kid who just washes cars, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the stuff I was getting to do. And I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss being able to just answer customers' questions or comments. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss making videos like this. Well, I probably won't miss it because I'll probably be making videos or something in my new job. I don't know. But the point is, it's not going to be the same. I'm not going to have my buddies around. I'm not going to have that feeling where we're just for lack of a better term, we're just a gang of misfits just making stuff. That's literally what we're doing. We come from totally different walks of life, all of us. And we've literally been able to build one of the biggest detailing companies in the world. And that's crazy. So it's become a powerhouse. From just 3 dudes with one camera, literally one GoPro and some iPhones, to what you see around me. And it's the cycle of all things. We grow, we have fun, we make crazy projects and we enjoy them. But sometimes it outgrows us or we outgrow it, That's just life. That's how it happens. When Anthony Fisher and I started, I was 9 and he was 10, basically, in terms of employees, right, to join the company. We now have close to 70 employees. We were in 15,000 square feet, and we thought, man, we're never going to fill this building. Now our campus is close to 100,000 square feet, which is insane to me that we have that much stuff, and we're bursting at the seams. So the rag company's only going to get bigger. In that growth, if you recall, the first podcast episode was me, Dane, and Anthony with a Zoom recorder sitting at a folding table with a piece of cardboard in front of us and a towel draped over it, and Dane going, we all got to sit real close. So we had 3 heads sitting like this, and we could smell each other's breaths. And I want to thank each and every one of you that have listened over the years of Anthony, Dane, and I literally just talking about nothing, but stuff we like to talk about. And to hear fans and listeners say, so Anthony, did you ever get those wheels changed over on your RSX or your Evo? Or Levi, so are you really going to add pavers to the MOSHQ grass in the front there so you can actually park cars on it? Or Dane, what is growing on the top of Hennon Hill? It means that the three of us became friends with you, and in turn, you became friends with us. And I could never in a million years imagine that or intend to replace that. I'm thankful for all the jokes, all the laughs, all the fun we've had on the podcast as well. But my path lies somewhere else. And I'm excited for this journey. And I'm making this choice based on my family and based on what I want to be able to provide for them and what I want to be able to do for them. So I'm excited for the future of detailing, and I'm excited for the fact that I've had a hand in creating and developing new products and techniques. That's really cool, and something I am very, very thankful and humbled to be even able to even do. But I'm really excited for the future, and I'm super excited to be able to do something that I truly love.
You ready for your final outro?
Oh, that's gonna be a good one. So the first time I did one of these, I couldn't get through it because I couldn't remember what I was saying. This time I'm probably gonna break down because it's emotional. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and maybe I'll see you on the next one.